बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा चिंता गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय गौरा हरि बोल 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 हरे कृष्णा प्रभु
हरे कृष्ण ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता कान्ता नमस्तुते कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शभानुसुदे देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री द्वैतराधरा शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So welcome back to Bhagavad Gita class session. It's almost 2 weeks that we had a break now. So it is third chapter. We are still on third chapter, and today's verses are 22, 23, and 24. So we'll read the verse 22 now. नमे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं कृषिलोकेषु किंचन नानावप्तं वाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि. नमे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं कृषिलोकेषु किंचन नानावाप्तं वाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि. नमे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं कृषिलोकेषु किंचन नानावाप्तमवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि. Right, Renuka Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Name Patasthi Kartavyam Rishu Lokeshu Kinchana Nanavakta Avapyam Tam Kavartak Evacha Karmani.
Okay, right. Okay, Ravi Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किंचन नानवाप्तं वाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि. हरे कृष्ण.
Okay, Snigdha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Om
Krishna.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Name Parthasti Kartavyam Trisaloke Kinchana. Nana Bastam Avastavyam Varta cha eva cha karmani. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Right. Yes, Chandra.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Name Padhasti Kartavyam Trishu Lokechu Kinchana Nana Vaptama Vaptavyam Vatat Evati Karmani. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Right, Mataji. Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Name Parthasti Kartavyam Trishu Logeshu Kinchana Nana Vaptama Vaptavyam Varta Eva cha Karmani. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Oh, right. Okay, Snigdha Mataji can read the translation.
Yes, Prabhuji. O son of Partha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in work. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Engaged in?
Work.
Engaged in what? Okay. Right. So, question, verse 23. Yadiham navarteyam jadu karmanyadandridaha mamavatmanuvartande manushyaha pata sarvashaha. Yadiham navarteyam jadu karmanyadandridaha mamavatmanuvartande manushyaha pata sarvashaha. Yadiham navarteyam Jadu karmanyadendridaha mamavatmanuvartande manushyaha partha sarvashaha. Right, Chandra.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yadi ham navateyam jadu karmanya atandritaha mamavatanu vartante manushya pata sarvashaha.
Right. Okay, Maji. Tell me, Maji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yadi hyam navarteyam. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Yadi
Krishna.
hyam navarteyam jadu karmanyadindridaha mamavatmanu vartande manushya partha sarvashaha.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna
Right.
Prabhu.
Renuka Maji.
यदि अहं न वर्तेयं जादुकर्मण्य अतन्द्रितः मम वार्त मनुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः.
Right. Ravi Pro.
हरे प्रभु.
Hare
यदि हम न वर्तेयं जातु कर्मण्य तंद्रिता मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः. हरे
Right. Hare Krishna. Snigdha Maji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Jadi hi aham na varteyam yatu karmanya tandritaha mama vartama anu vartante manusyaha partha sarvashaha. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Right. Ravi Pro can read the translation. Oh, you're not having English means. You're going to come like this. Okay, right. Okay. Renuka Maji can read.
For if I did not engage in work, O Partha, certainly all men would follow my path. Hare
Right.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. 24. Utsiyade rume lokam na kuryam karma chetaham sangarasya chakartasyam vahanyam ima prajaha. Utsiyade rume lokam na kuryam karma chetaham sangarasya chakartasyam vahanyam ima prajaha. Utsiyade rume lokam न कुर्याम कर्म चेदहम संगरस्य च कर्तस्याम वहन्यामिमा प्रजाः. Right, Snigdha
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Utsideyorime loka na kuryam karma chedaham sankarasya cha kartasyam upahanyami ma prajaha. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Did you read the last verse?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hari Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Utsideyorime loka na kuryam karma chedaham sankarasya cha kartasyam upahanyami ma praja.
Right. Renukamaji.
Utsideyur mele
ime loka
na kuryam karma chetaham Shankarasya cha kartasyam upahanyam imam prajaha.
Right. Right. Okay. Chandra.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Om Utsideyor ime loka na kuryam karma chedaham sanskadya asya cha kartasyam upahanyam ima praja.
Right. Okay. Maji. Ramya Maji.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Amma balu kya?
Vallu vaangikkam. Okay, the model translation vachudo. Read the translation.
If I should cease to work, then all these words would be put to ruination. Ruination. I would also be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all sentient beings.
Sentient beings. Okay. Okay, sentient beings.
Hare
right.
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Right. So, Krishna is describing to Arjuna that a role model, although he's self-realized, he doesn't have any more work to do. Still, he works for the benefit of others. This, as mentioned, verse number 21, Yad yad acharadi shrestha tadevetaro jana nayat sayat pramanam kuride logastat nivartade. Whatever action a great man performs, common man will follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Whichever pramanas, which are the scriptures that he's following, people have confidence that they are authentic. So they will read that scriptures. That's why Bhagavad Gita, scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, has gained great recognition because lots and lots of acharyas have accepted these two glorious scriptures as the most revealing scriptures, revealing the absolute truth to a people, to living entities. These are the foundation. Describes in details everything. So that is accepted as a pramana grantha. Pramana grantha means authorized scripture. So when great personalities like Janaka, another Mahajans like Brahma, Narada, Shiva, Kapila, Manu, they all accept Kumaras. They accept any scriptures. General public, considering the stature of these Mahajans, they will also follow this. So Krishna here, after giving examples of Janaka and all that, himself says that he is also acting for the benefit of others. He's doing the work for the benefit of others. So he doesn't have any need to work. Why doesn't have any need to work? Why people work? Why people work? No idea. They simply work just for the fun of it. Why you are working? Why are you going to college? Why are you going to office? Why are you going to factories?
To get people work to get their food, shelter, and other requirements.
Other things. So many things we require. No, so many things we require. So we have to work to get them. But Krishna says, I don't have any need to work because I have everything. There's nothing which I cannot obtain in the whole universe, in all the three universes. There's nothing which cannot be obtained by me, just by my will. Just by his will, he can get anything. So he doesn't need any work. He doesn't have to do any work. That is this. Also Arjuna said, why is it so? Or why you are so powerful? Krishna says, haven't you seen the scriptures? In so many Upanishads, they describe the greatness of the Supreme Lord. So one such Upanishad, Shweta Shvedra Upanishad, describes in detail the supreme power of the Supreme Being. It says, Tam Ishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram. For all the controllers, Krishna is the Supreme Controller. Ishwara Parama Krishna. So for all the control, Ishvara means controller. For all the controllers, Supreme Controller, Krishna is the Supreme Controller. Tam Devadanam Paramam Cha Devatam. When all these Devas, he is the Supreme Deva. For the demigods, he is the most worshipable. For the demigods, the most worshipable God, Supreme Person is Krishna only. Padim Padinam, for all the protectors, he is the greatest protector. Padi means husband or protector. So one who accords protection, security. Krishna is greatest among that. Param Parastad. Para means supreme, superior. Among the superiors, he is the supreme most superior. Vidama Devam Bhuvanesham idiom. He has to understand that this is a way to understand Krishna. So he is the greatest of all. He is the most powerful. Among all the demigods, he is the greatest. Not the demigods, among all the devas, he is the greatest. Supreme Deva. So does he have to does any work? He says he doesn't have to any work. No, natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. Because the way we work, we have particular organs, particular senses for executing particular work. For carrying, we need hands. For walking, we need legs. For hearing, we need ears. For seeing, we need eyes. Speaking, we need tongue, throat, voice power. But that is because we are material conditioned. So we need all this material assistance to do any work. So Krishna's body is not at all material. It's totally transcendent. So he can do any work with any of his senses. He can eat with his eyes. He can reproduce with his eyes. He can speak with his other organs. He can walk with his legs. Sorry, he can walk with his hands. So many things he can do. So for him, executing work is also very, very easy. In Srimad Bhagavatam says Krishna is present in so many places simultaneously. He's present with his queens in Dwaraka. At the same time, he present with Pandavas also in the forest simultaneously. So that is his greatness. Parasya Shakti Videva Shuvide. He has got so many powers, so many potencies. His potencies are innumerable, classified broadly into three, which are the broad classification of his energies. Krishna's energy or potency, which are the major classification.
Prabhuji, Bahiranga, Antaranga Sakti?
Yes.
Tatastha Sakti?
Yes.
Bahiranga
Right.
Sakti, Antaranga Sakti, and Tatastha
Shakti. Right. With these energies, he can do any work. He is spread all over. He is spread all over the universe. Maya tadamidam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. At the same time, he is personally present in Goloka Vrindavan. When he spread all over, his form is not there. His form, in the formalist way, avyakta murtina. But he has a supreme form also. In the supreme form, he is situated in Goloka. But he has the ability also to expand his form also. So, Krishna is not an ordinary person. He is not at all ordinary. He is beyond our imagination. Such a great person, Krishna says, still I work. Yadi hyam navarteyam jadu karmani adandrida. Adandrida means very, very carefully, with full attention. So he lays an example. How do you work? How to work? You have to, even it's a small thing, small work, you have to give it full attention. Krishna can execute any work just like that, very easily. But he doesn't do that. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, in chapter 70, the daily activities of Krishna is given. Krishna rises up early, then he meditates on himself, then he distributes so many items, paraphernalia to Brahmanas. Mainly, he gives away around 13,000 cows. Not simply cows, not simply just cows like that, well decorated with ornaments, gold, pearl, diamonds, rubies, emerald, all the horns, everything, even the horns are decorated. And the body is covered with silk. Such 13,000 cows he gives every day as dana, charity. In charity, he gives to Brahmanas. By that, he shows how that Brahmanas should be respected. Brahmanas are, they are a focus, who are eligible to be worshipped by general people. Then he goes to his Rajabhavan, or can say the administration hall, and he conducts the daily affairs of the country. Then he acts as a very perfect husband, visiting 16,108 palaces in which he has resided all his queens. He's a perfect husband, perfect administrator, a perfect grihastha. By his action, he is showing how we have to work, how to discharge your prescribed duties. So Krishna says that he's working with a lot of attention, a lot of care, so that people will see how Krishna is working, and then they know how to work. From him, they teach. They understand how to execute a work, how to do charity, whom to give charity, at what time to give charity. So Krishna is acting as a role model. Suppose he doesn't do that. In the last verse, he says, suppose I do not do that. Ulsiyade ime loga. Nakuryam karma chedham. If I do not discharge these duties, if I do not work, then the whole world will be put into ruins. Because all these values, moral values, now we have to understand that moral values, dharma, is required. It's very much required, because if the dharma is not in place, spiritual progress will be very difficult. When there is anarchy in the country, no rules, no regulations, people are full of ignorance and passion, tamogun, rajogun, then the moral codes will disappear. So that is a great danger. The moral codes, dharma, is no longer there. Then there will be so many unwanted population. The whole culture, civilization will be ruined. And if moral codes are gone, then yajnas and all things will not take place. And the Vedas will also be affected. People will not act on Vedas, and Vedas will be forgotten. And finally, Vedas will be discarded by people. And the Vedas are discarded, naturally, then it will be very difficult to understand the Supreme Personal Godhead. Vedas are not there, the scriptures are not there. How we can understand Krishna? We are understanding Krishna through scriptures only, and through realized persons. So Krishna is very careful that he doesn't do anything out of step with the Vedas, which is not given in the Vedas, or which is against injunctions of Vedas. He doesn't do a single thing, although he doesn't have to follow Vedas, because he created everything. All those moral codes are created by Krishna only. Krishna doesn't have to follow this, but still he follows, because if he doesn't follow, then other people will not follow, and then there will be huge ruination. So that's what Krishna says, yada dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Whenever there is a decline of moral values, then he will come and set things right. Because moral values, a morally advanced administrator, a king is required. Then only there will be peace and prosperity in the country. And when there is peace and prosperity, then people can think of liberation. You will find that in all the civilized countries, spiritual activities are very high. Only in India you can find this. Because India, formerly we had no problem. We are very prosperous, very peaceful. So people could pursue their spiritual life, spiritual aspirations and spiritual destinations very comfortably. because they had very strong kings at the time, starting with Sri Ramachandra, Yudhishthira, Prithvi Maharaj, Rishabha Maharaj. So many great kings were there. Manu, Vaivasada Manu, Ikshagu. So many great kings were there. And because of the great kings, people were very happy. Everything was in control. Moral values were very high. So they could easily satisfy their spiritual desires. That's why Krishna appears. Once in a while, once in a Brahma's day, Krishna appears to put things right. That is one aspect. But other thing is, he acts to show others that he is the only supreme personality of Godhead. It's not simply that he's a person who has come over there and set things right by killing some anarchists, atheists, demons like Duryodhana, Kamsa, Jarasandha, etc. No, that is only part. Other things is to display his great opulence, like lifting of this Govardhana, dancing with gopis, millions and millions of gopis. Krishna expands himself to all the gopis, so that every single gopi will have Krishna with him, with her. Also, he expands 16,108 to satisfy, to be with simultaneously with his wives. So these are acts which cannot be performed by normal human beings. Superhuman acts. But when Krishna performs his superhuman acts, like dancing with gopis, Rasa Leela, some rascals who have no more quite understanding of this, they try to imitate Krishna dancing with some girls. It's called Sahajiyas. This has happened. After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has disappeared, so many Sahajiya groups have come and they claim themselves to be Krishna and Radha and forming a dancing party in public and pretending to be Krishna and gopis. They were dancing and indulging all those abominable activities. So we are not supposed to imitate Krishna. We want to imitate Krishna by dancing with gopis, then you have to lift that Govardhan also. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, Ishwaranam Vaja Naitat Samachet Jadu Manasabi Anishwaraha. Anishwara means one who is not a controller, one who is a weak person, one who is not a strong person. He should now, even in mind, try to imitate the work of a very superbly powerful persons like Mahadeva, Shiva, Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva once drank a whole ocean of poison, just like drinking some kheer. Like Chandra eats ice cream. You are fond of eating ice cream, isn't it? So can you eat Kalakuda Visha, Kalakuda poison also just like that? No, you cannot. No. So once there was a drama troupe in London. So the story was that the hero was drinking from a bottle of wine, a very high cost of wine. So the person who was acting was ruling that hero's role he said to director, see, in this scene, I am supposed to drink wine. So you better arrange a first-class wine, high-quality wine, so that it can look very natural. So please arrange the best wine in the market, bring it over, so that I actually drink that wine and put up a very great performance. So the director said, okay, I will do that. But towards the end of the drama, there is a scene when the hero is taking poison and committing suicide. So shall I give you real poison at the time? So this is not possible for us. These powerful acts of very powerful persons like Shiva, Brahma, Surya, Chandra, and all that, they are all empowered persons, empowered by Krishna. Ishwarana means Ishvara Krishna, as well as persons, those who are empowered by Krishna. Shiva is empowered by Krishna. Brahma is empowered by Krishna. Surya, Chandra, and all those presiding deities of all those planets. The modern science says that there are so many planets, very impersonal, just material planets, made of some material elements, with no controller. But in the Vedic system, it is not like that. Every planet has its own presiding deity. No planet is bereft of a personal controller. Every planet has got a personal controller. And this personal controller is appointed by Krishna because of their qualification. Since they are qualified, they are put in those places that we have seen in the verses 10 to 13, that all those devas, they are qualified persons. They are they are in that position because they are department heads, because Krishna has placed them there, considering and giving adherence to their qualifications, recognizing their abilities. But when you speak to these atheist people or scientists, they will not accept. But in our day-to-day activities, we accept these things. Like, for example, there's a village. So village, it needs so many things. People should have some work, then there should be agriculture, there should be business. So many activities will take place in a village. So who will take care of these villages? Who will control these village activities? Hmm? What is it?
Head of the village. Head of the village.
Head of, exactly, like the village, head of village. There's a panchayat, head of village. The president, panchayat president, he's head of village. So there is a panchayat and there is a head of village also, head of a panchayat. Panchayat is a body of persons, maybe impersonal, but it is ultimately controlled by the head of the panchayat, head of the village. That we can understand, that we accept also. Like, for example, city, we have a mayor. And then in the state, we have a state government. And that state government is under the control of a chief minister. The country is under control of central government, headed by prime minister. So this we understand, we accept. Without that, we cannot function. Everybody accepts. The same way, why you cannot understand that trillions and trillions and trillions of galaxies, in every galaxy, the innumerable planets, are they just floating like that without any controller? So there are controllers.
No, Prabhu.
And this, so they cannot. So they cannot just like that. There should be a controller for that. And these controllers are appointed by Krishna based on the qualification. Exactly like in our democracy, as chief minister is appointed or elected by votes. But is the chief minister's power is coming from because of votes only he is being powerful? Is it because of the votes the chief minister or the prime minister is powerful? Or seeing the power of a chief minister or the person, people are giving votes, which is correct?
By seeing the power of people
Yes.
give votes.
Yeah, by seeing the power of that person. some power is there, some extraordinary power is there in that person, in the chief minister or the prime minister. People recognize that power and they vote for them. So who is giving the power to that person then? They will not accept. These atheists will not accept. Oh, I made, oh my God. How you made it? Because I've studied in such and such a school. I've studied in such and such a college. My parents are such and such a person. I work very hard. So many persons, so many students have attended school. So many students have attended colleges. So many students have entered the political field, some political parties. They had very enterprising parents, and they are also very hardworking. But still, what is the difference? Why this person is accepted as chief minister, others are not? So we have to understand that that person, the strength has been given by Krishna. So Krishna in 10th chapter 41, he says, Yad yad vibhodimat sattum srimat urjidam evava tattat evava gachatvam mama tejamsha sambhavam. Oh Arjuna, whichever beautiful, strong and powerful which you see here, understand that they are spark of my splendor. So Krishna has given them that position because of their old karmas. Yes, karmana daivane trena. So they are actually indirectly serving Krishna. In one way, they are indirectly serving Krishna, serving these intentions of Krishna by acting as a chief minister or prime minister, although they are not aware of that. That's why we say they indirectly. But people who are directly who situated in the internal potency of Krishna, Mahamanastu Kaunteya Devim Pragriti Mahashridaha. Great acharyas, great spiritual leaders like, he is also controller, Isharanam is also controller, like Srila Prabhupada. They are directly surrendered to Krishna's internal potency. So they are fully empowered by Krishna. So they can do anything. Srila Prabhupada is so powerful. So powerful that at the age of 70, just $40, 40 rupees in his pocket, suffering 2 heart attacks, entering a geographical area which is totally alien to him, no understanding. First time he's reaching there, no contacts, nothing. Just imagine, just visualize, try to visualize what he has done. How great. Nobody can visualize how it's difficult for a 70 years old person traveling in a what do you call it? A merchant ship, cargo ship. A cargo ship taking about 2-3 months to reach New York or America, suffering 2 heart attacks, and then reaching America, and then within 1 year setting up ISKCON, and then within 10 years setting up more than 108 temples all over the world. Staggering, it's mind-boggling actually. How is it possible? Because it was empowered by Krishna. This is a pure devotee of Krishna, such a pure devotee. It's always in, there's not a tinge of materialism or gunas in Srila Prabhupada. For us, actually, for us also, it's very difficult to understand Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is always situated in Sattva and Shuddha Sattva. And sometimes we may wrongly come to conclusion that sometimes he is also in gunas. But not at all so. So such an empowered person like Srila Prabhupada is also Isharanam. So when you see the actions of Srila Prabhupada, don't try to judge those actions. Very difficult to understand the intentions, actions of Vaishnava. Vaishnava Kriya Mudra Bhujiya. Even the wisest person cannot understand the actions of a supreme Vaishnava. So that is one reason Krishna firstly re-established the moral codes, and he works within the system of Varnashrama system. Apart from that, he shows his opulence of a supreme person of God, and he has a very loving personal relationship with the Brajavasis. That is the supreme position of Krishna. It's not the Aishwarya that is more important. It is his personal relationships with rasas and melos, with his dearmost devotees. That sets apart Krishna from everyone else. So Krishna in these 3 verses sums up, Arjuna says that he is also working, although he doesn't need to work, he's working just to establish, just to teach others how to work within this Varnashrama system. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Any clarification? Yes? Okay, right. Ravi Prabhu can do that Narsingh Kirtan.
Namaste Narasingaya Prahlad Ladadaine Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha Shilatankanakalaye Ito Narsingha Parato Narsingha Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsingha Gahe Narsingha Hirdaye Narsingha Narasingha Madin Sharanam Prapadye Tava Kara Kamalavari Nakham Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jayana Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Narsingha Dev Jaya Narsingha Dev Jaya Narsingha Dev Jaya Narsingha Dev Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Ugram Viram Mahavishnam Jwalantam
Vandam
Sarvato
Samadomukham
Narasimham
Narasimham
Vishvam
Visham
Bhadram
Bhadram
Mrityum
Mrityumurtim
Mrityunamamiham Ugram Viram Mahavishnam
Vishnu
Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Narasimham Bhadram Mrityum Mrityunamamiham Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasingham Vishnam Bhadram Mrityum Mrityum Namamiham Shri Narsingha Jai Narsingha Jai Jai Shri
Jai Shri
Narsingha Praladesa Jaya
Radesha Jaya
Padma Padma Bringa Shri Narsingha Jai Narsingha Jai Jai Shri Narsingha Praladesa Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa Shri Narsingha Jai Narsingha Jai Jai Shri Narsingha Praladesa Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa
Shuddha Bhakti Vinanashagari Shri Narsingh Dev Bhagwan ki
Jai
Vaishnava Maharaj ki
Jai
Jai.
Gaur Premanande
Hari
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 Pancha Kalpadrubhescha Nandaguri Vaishnavrinda ki
Jai
Jai.
Bhagwan ki
Jai
Gaur Premanande